Good morning, my friends, and welcome to another edition of Joan's Pointed Chicken Coop. In today's edition, we're going to be shingling a roof. I know, right? Every stinking weekend. We're close, guys. We're close. Then we'll start having fun on the weekends again, maybe. It is very early Saturday morning. We are up and at 'em. I have some things to do around here before I go out and help Doug. I have to make dessert to take to Pinochle tonight. So I'm going to make the chocolate depression cake again. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. Something a little different this time. But that's going to be my base. So I'm going to make that. And then I guess get out there and help Doug. I think he'll shingle by himself because, you know, the roof's not that big. I will probably start painting. Oh, no, I need to finish the trim. Let me tell you, last night, Doug trusted me. And I'm not throwing any shade at Doug because I wouldn't trust me. Doug trusted me to measure, cut with the chop saw, and install all the trim around the coop part. All by myself. Or as one of my littles would say, all my by self. Yes. He did. And guess what?
It looks pretty nice.
I didn't make any mistakes. I didn't. But it got too dark. I have 2 pieces of trim cut, and they're the last 2 that need to go on. It just got too dark last night. So we had to put a pause on that. Doug got the door all framed out. He's just working on adjusting that, like adjusting the hinges. So he's going to finish that this morning and then shingle the roof. I'll turn you around and show you the girls. Oh my God, they're getting huge. They are getting so big. And every day I just keep praying that they're girls and no roosters in there. Oh, I know, because you know I like to worry. What else? We have 5 o'clock mass tonight. Doug has to sing solo. He's covering for somebody. We have Pinochle. Tomorrow's Sandwich Sunday for church. So at some point I have to run out and get the supplies for that. I don't like to buy them until like the day before or the day of because it's lunch meat. I like it sliced fresh. So I'll get that. You know, just another day. Not really doing a whole lot of cooking this weekend. I screwed up some cooking yesterday. So yesterday, on Fridays, I only have 2 little ones. And we were busy all morning. We took a long walk and, you know, did some playing and stuff like that. And when they went to bed, my goal was to fly through and clean my house. Because my house hasn't been properly cleaned in about 2 weeks because last weekend we were away. That, and I was making dinner, I told you, for a church family. So that was my goal during nap time. And I was working on it. My niece came over and we were chatting and I was still working. And then my brother and his wife stopped over and we were chatting, but I was still working. Well, I went to cook the dinner for the church family, completely forgetting that I had our pizza dough rising in the oven, because that's where I put it. And I turned the oven on to preheat it. Lucky I didn't burn my house down. So I baked my pizza dough in a bowl. Yeah, so Doug had to go and pick up the shingles last night. So he picked up a pizza. We got a pizza from that like little restaurant that we like, their specialty pizzas. So I had that, you know, totally fine, worked it in. But I was so mad at myself because I was looking forward to my pizza. And it's funny because I always do the sourdough crust now. And yesterday I said, oh, I'm not going to do the sourdough crust because I forgot to take my starter out of the fridge. Mental note, I got to go do that right now because I need it for tomorrow. So I said, oh, I'll just make, you know, busy kitchen dough. Yeah, it was beautiful dough too. Oh, well, life happens. We're not perfect. So we did that. And actually, it probably kind of worked out well because I was able to get outside quicker and work a little bit longer. So it was just a busy day yesterday, really busy. I was exhausted. It was like 10 o'clock. I'm sitting on the couch working on my website update for the week, and I kept falling asleep, like with the laptop on my lap and my fingers on the keyboard. But I got it done and then went to bed. So that's where we're at. I don't think there's anything else. We're really trying to push. Tomorrow's supposed to be really rainy, so we're probably not going to be able to work outside. So we're trying to work our butts off today. Especially because Doug starts school on Tuesday. So every Tuesday and Thursday night, he'll be gone. And that's a chunk of time. So we're trying to get as much done as we can. So we will see. So that's it. I am going to go get this cake made and get it in the oven. And I'm in Doug's way. And I'll show you what we're doing today. And I'll show you the girls. Here they are. I'll have some better video footage of them over the weekend out of the brooder. I'm actually going to take them all out of the brooder in a little bit because the brooder needs to be cleaned. I try to clean it every 2 or 3 days because, oh, they poop a lot. So there they are. Mabel and Dolores are huge. They're a little bit older, so they are definitely the bigger ones. And they're starting to get to that ugly chicken stage where their feathers are starting to come in a little bit, but they still have that baby down on them. It's like that gawky preteen, early teenager stage that kids go through. You know, that like 6th grade, 7th grade stage. At least that's when my kids always had that really awkward look upon them. So they're all doing good and they're getting so big. The dog and cat, the dog's starting to get a little more interested in them, which I wish she wouldn't, but she is. I think because they're making so much noise and, you know, she just wants to see them. And the cat just completely ignores them. So there they are. Say hi, girls. Time to clean out this mess. Man, they poop a lot. Okay, quick break in our morning for breakfast. Doug asked for a breakfast sandwich, but I realized all of the English muffins I had left were really tiny, and he likes a big one. So we just had eggs and English muffins and sausage for breakfast. 4 points for my English muffin, 1 for my sausage, 0 for my eggs. So 5-point breakfast for me this morning. Okay, we are back at it. Doug is working on the door, putting the hinges on. And I did this is all the trim I did last night. You can see it all the way around. I still can't believe he trusted me with it, but I did a good job. I have 2 pieces more to hang. And then I think I'm gonna start painting because we have to get it painted before we put all the wire up because it'll be a pain in the butt to try to paint around wire. So I think that's the plan for the day. We're feeling it. It's getting close. It's getting close. We'll see. And so the roofing begins. Doug is installing the drip edge right now all the way around. And then the tar paper. Actually, I thought the tar paper went before the drip edge. And then the shingles. And while he's doing that, I am painting. Have I mentioned how much I hate to paint? So what did I do? What anyone would do. I put it out on Facebook that if there's any teen that likes to paint and wants to earn a little bit of money today, let me know because I have a painting job for you. So it is coming along. It is looking good. I've learned a few things. I've learned, I am a very messy painter. But it's a chicken coop, who cares? I had no idea I had that on my face until I turned the camera on. I've learned that I really do dislike painting. And I've learned that teenagers apparently don't want to work. When I put that out there on Facebook, I swore I would have people, I'm going to wash my hands while we're doing this if I can. I swore I was going to have, people jump on it because I have a lot of friends with teenagers and I thought for sure, because I know like when my kids were home and younger, not even younger, like they would always ask me to look on Facebook to see if anybody needed a lawn mowed or a garden cleaned out. they would do all kind of odd jobs for cash. But I guess maybe that's not cool anymore. I don't know. My kids liked money and I made them work for it. I didn't just, I mean, believe me, we give them enough. But you know, if like just random money, they had to earn it. But yeah, not one person. So it's all me, which is fine. I just don't love it. But the nice thing is, it is a chicken coop. You know, so we're not talking really nice wood here. They're 2x3s. 2x3s that used to be $1.19, $5.30 now for a 2x3. Lumber is ridiculous. So I'm just doing it. I'm just slapping paint on. Oh, something else I learned. T111 is a pain in the rear end to paint. Yes, it is. But it'll look fine. It's a chicken coop. It's a place for my chicks to sleep and poop in the coop. So it's not my house. I'm not living in it. As long as it blends into the landscape and looks half decent in my backyard, then that's what it is. So I just came in, took a little break to get my hands washed up and apparently my face. And I'm going to, Doug's hungry, and actually I'm a little hungry. So I'm going to make some lunch. So that is where we are at right now. And I'm really not sure what we're having for lunch. And my sink is backed up. That's not cool. I think I put too many eggshells down there today. So I'm not sure what we're having for lunch. Doug said tuna. I don't even know what was on the menu for today. Leftovers. Well, we don't have a ton of leftovers, so I'm not sure. What a weird angle. I'll find something, and whatever it is, I will show you. But I am really hungry. I am burning calories left and right today, too, painting. So that's not a bad thing. So I'll be back. Okay, for lunch today, I have some tuna with a tiny bit of mayo in it on 2 slices of my homemade bread. Probably should have just eaten it in a bowl, but I really wanted the bread. And a kiwi. So total, it is 4 points for my lunch today. It is looking good. The shingles are coming along nicely. The painting is coming along. I don't know if I'd say nicely, but it's coming along. That's all that matters. Okay, we are calling it a day because it is 3 o'clock and we need to get ready for church. So I got a lot of the painting done. I didn't start the trim yet, but I got a lot of the base painting done. Not all of it, not the back and not the other side. But boy, there's a lot of it's a lot of these, 2x4s and all that you have to paint each side of. And I still have to work up in the coop a little bit, but I didn't want to put the ladder out and everything today, so knowing I wasn't going to get it all done. Doug got almost the entire half of the roof done, and I feel like we had a pretty productive day. I checked the weather, and it's only supposed to rain tomorrow morning, which, if they're right, that's perfect because we'll be doing Sandwich Sunday in the morning. And then by the time we deliver those, hopefully the rain will be over and we'll be able to get back out here and get back to work. But now it's time to go in, clean up, and get ready for Mass. Okay, heading over to Pinnacle. Totally forgot to tell you about the dessert I made. I told you I was starting with a depression cake and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I turned it into what's called either a Snickers cake or a better than anything cake, something like that. I poked holes in it, and then I took the Hershey's caramel syrup, and I did not use the sugar-free. I just used the regular. I used about 4 tablespoons of that. It was hard to measure, and I should have weighed it, but I didn't. But it was about 4 tablespoons. Poked holes in the top of the cake and poured that on. Then I took 3 tablespoons, I think 3 I'll have to look. I wrote it all down so I'd have the points, of sweetened condensed milk, and did the same thing. Poured that over top, and fat-free sweetened condensed milk, and let that sink in. And then I took, it's like Cool Whip, but it's marginally better than Cool Whip, because Cool Whip's just nothing but hydrogenated oil. I'm not a fan of it. But the True Whip doesn't have that in it, so I use that. And put that on top, and then crushed up some, or sliced up some of the little tiny Snickers bars and put those on top. So it comes out to 6 points a slice with 9 slices. So it's kind of high, but it looks really good, and I'm excited to try it. And I love the full fat version of this cake, so this is a little bit better. I'll show you what it looks like. Here you go. This is what it looks like. It looks really good. I'm excited to try it. And, you know, it's a little high in points, but it is what it is. Ended up using probably weekly points today, and I'm okay with that. Hey, it is Sunday morning, and I completely forgot to close out yesterday. We ended up playing cards. We didn't get home until, what time was it, Doug? Like 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Like 1 o'clock in the morning. We just played and played and played. We had a good time. So now we are up. It is Sandwich Sunday for church. And if you're new or you haven't seen me talk about this before, what Sandwich Sunday is, the last Sunday of every month, volunteers, you sign up and make sandwiches. It used to be, we used to get together at church and do it in the hall, but with COVID and everything, that doesn't happen anymore. So we make sandwiches at home. Meat and cheese sandwiches. We go out, we purchase the food. It's a donation. We make sandwiches and we take them and drop them off at church. And then there's a woman at our church who has a mission. It's called Friends of Fairview Give Back. And she takes the sandwiches. Usually we get between 12 and 1,500 sandwiches. She takes them into a city in New Jersey called Camden. I believe it is it's either the poorest or the second poorest city in the nation. She takes them in and she distributes them on the street to the homeless. She takes them to different shelters, things like that. You can make sandwiches, you can make casseroles. We donate water and snacks and granola bars and fresh fruit and things like that. And they distribute them. There's a homeless shelter called Home of the Brave that is for veterans. A lot of the casseroles go there for a Sunday dinner, things like that. Ronald McDonald House, and yeah. So the last Sunday of every month, we make sandwiches here at home. This month we are making turkey and cheese, and we package them up, we label them, and then we drop them off. We just pull up at church, the volunteers take them right out of the car, and that's it. So it's just something we like to do, you know, just to try to give back a little bit. So we are up to make those sandwiches, and it rained all night last night. So we're hoping things dry out a little bit. Doug needs to finish the coop roof today, and I really want to finish painting if I can. We'll see if it dries out enough. If not, I might start working on making the ramp for the girls, or working on the roosting bar. I'm not sure yet. We have to figure that out. So we definitely have a lot to keep us busy. I need to get my dough mix. We're having burgers on the grill tonight, I believe. Yes. So I need to get my dough mix to make my burger buns. Kind of forgot about that yesterday. I probably would have made them well, I don't know if I would have time yesterday. So I need to get that dough mixed. I think I'm going to try to have the recipe today and not make quite as many. So we'll see how that goes. But so I'll get that dough mixed, and it's really not hard. It's really not even that time consuming. It's just a couple little steps. So I'll just have to. I just set the alarm on my watch, or set a timer on my watch, so I know when to come in and first rise and bulk rise and all that kind of stuff. And then typical Sunday stuff. Just get prepared for the week ahead. See what's going on with that. Hopefully, once we get this coop done, we'll have some more time for some weekend adventures. Because and now that the weather's still iffy. I mean, we have a true spring here in New Jersey. Everybody thinks spring weather is so warm and beautiful and flowers and all that. Not here in Jersey. Spring is spring. You get a lot of rain. You can have all the different seasons in one day. I mean, you can start out at 30 degrees in the morning, and by the afternoon, it's 65. So it's not like, it's not great weather. Like, spring weather finally. Not in Jersey. Give me summer. It's a little more consistent. So hopefully in the next couple of weekends, the weather will get a little more consistent, and we can go on some hikes, or we can go exploring. I need to get out to Lancaster. I need a few things. I want to get back down to the little town called Smithville. I want to go back to New Hope, Pennsylvania, just to spend a day exploring, walking around now that things are starting to open up a bit, now that we're fully vaccinated, things like that. So, yeah. But in the meantime, it's still working at home and working on the chickens and all that fun stuff, which is absolutely fine with me, because I learned I kind of like being home and taking care of my house and cooking from scratch and all that fun stuff. You saw my dinner last night. I didn't video it all last night. But it was delicious. Mary made ravioli and meatballs and sausage. I had a tiny little piece of sweet Italian sausage. It was only I loved it. It was perfect size. It's only like 1.5 inches or so. So, I had that and a couple of raviolis, some bread, and then we had that cake for dessert, which was really, really good. Really good. And like I said, there's really no recipe. I made the depression cake and just a couple tablespoons of caramel. And it depends on how many points you want to make it. And I don't use the sugar-free, but if you wanted to use the sugar-free caramel, that would reduce the points. If you wanted to use a fat-free or a sugar-free Cool Whip, I don't use that, so I didn't use that. So you can really tailor it. So anyway, that's that. I'm going to go get making these sandwiches. I think Doug's going to run over and drop them off, and I'll get breakfast started and my buns started. So I will show you what we do. Okay, we can check that off the to-do list for today. We've got 33 chicken and American cheese sandwiches packed up and ready to head to the church, along with a case of water and a couple bags of mandarin oranges. So Doug's going to take that while I get breakfast rolling. We finally figured out, and I was finally smart enough to write down this month, exactly what we need to make 33 sandwiches. 4 pounds of meat, 2 pounds of cheese, 3 loaves of bread. I got smart and wrote it down. So next month, we won't have to stand there and guess when we're waiting at the deli counter. Okay, breakfast this morning. I have some sourdough pancakes and some bacon. The sourdough pancakes are 4 points. The bacon is 2 points, so that's 6, plus 1 point for my syrup. So 7 points for breakfast this morning. Okay, breakfast is done and dusted. Everything is cleaned up. Actually, it was more like brunch because it was late. Doug's outside up on the roof already, and now I am going to go outside and start painting again. Got about half done yesterday, so I'm really hoping to bang it out and have it dry so we can start attaching the hardwire cloth to it. And then I have to build a ramp. Doug put me in charge of that. He asked me to do the roosting bar. I'm not real comfortable with that because I'm still kicking ideas around, but I can definitely build the chicken steps or the chicken ramp or the chicken ladder. We're doing a ramp. I can build that, not a problem. He'll probably just have to help me with the angle of it because I'm not real good at that. It's got to be between 30 and 45 degrees. So that's our plans today. My buns are doing a bulk rise in the oven. I'm not sure how much longer they have to go, probably about an hour and a half. And then I'll run in and shape those, let them have their second rise, and then bake them. They're really not hard to do. It's not a lot of hands-on time. You know, it's 2 hours of rising. In the beginning, it was throwing all the stuff in the mixer, letting the mixer do the mixing for a few minutes, then letting it sit, then throwing a little bit more flour in and letting the mixer do the work of the kneading for 8 minutes. Then it was throwing in a bowl, sticking it to rise for 2 hours. The longest part is definitely the shaping. And that's the longest part for me because I weigh it out and I weigh every single one so I know exactly how big they are. And sometimes I'll vary it, like I'll do some a little bit smaller for me, some a little bit larger for the boys, it depends. So that's what takes the longest, is the measuring and shaping. If you just put your dough on the counter and just cut it with your bench cutter into 8 or 12 or 14, whatever, equal portions, it goes much quicker. But I put a little bit more work on myself because it's what I want to do. So don't ever be afraid to try to do stuff like this. It really doesn't take that long, and the benefits, it's delicious. So anyway, I am going to get my shoes on and try and decide if I need a hoodie. The rain stopped early this morning, which is awesome. So everything's dried out. So I'm just trying to decide what I need to wear and get out there and get working. Okay, came in from painting to take a break and make my hamburger buns. I'll link the recipe I use below. I use it exactly as stated on the website I get it from. The only difference I do, it says to do it into, I think, eight buns that are like 100 grams each. I don't do that. They're just way too big. So I have 13 here, and I did, I think, 63 grams. I generally do 60, but it just happened this way today. So these three over here are 67 grams each, but these are all 63 grams. So there are my buns. So now they're going in for the second rise, and then I will brush the tops with beaten egg, sprinkle on some sesame seeds, and bake them. Okay, quick update on the coop progress. The roof is almost done. Doug is just putting the cap shingles on now. Do I have the heart to tell him he put them on the wrong way? Oh wait, no he didn't. Wanted to make sure it matched the shed, and it does.
They weren't coming off.
They weren't coming off. The whole shed, or the whole thing, is painted except for a little spot in the back and the trim. I just have to do like the trim just in the one shade darker color. But all the main painting is done. So I'm getting ready to go back in and do that. And I think I'll be done with painting. And then I think we're going to start working on the hardwire cloth. We're going to have dinner a little bit early because we're not having lunch. And then that way we can kind of eat early and have some more time after dinner to work a little bit more. Okay, buns are out of the oven. They came out beautiful. I haven't looked at the bottom yet to make sure. Yep, they look good. So I'm just going to let them cool on a cooling rack until we're ready for dinner. And in this bowl, I have some sweet potatoes. I did 3 smallish sweet potatoes, and I just cut them into, julienne strips. And I put 2 teaspoons of olive oil, tossed it around, and then I just didn't measure, and I put salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika, and just mix that all around. And now I'm just going to let them sit, and when the time comes for dinner, I am going to toss them in the air fryer. Honestly, I never know how long. I just keep checking them. I'm going to do them at 380 degrees, and I'm going to start with 10 minutes, and then like rotate the racks, or, you know, turn them over, shake them up, whatever you do. Check them, and if they have to go longer, just do it longer. It all depends on how thick you cut them, and even your air fryer. So kind of no exact science for that. And I have 2 hard-boiled eggs, I think, left in the fridge. I think I have 2. I'm going to just whip up some deviled eggs. So the blessed laid plans. We were supposed to have dinner early since we didn't do lunch. We were going to have dinner at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Yeah, well, didn't happen. So it's now 5:45 and I'm just starting to cook dinner. Whatever. We're not going to starve to death. God only knows. We can live off the fat of the land. So I'm cooking dinner. Doug's working on the coop. Look how great it looks. It's hard to see on film. Well, it's all painted. The base color and the trim color. The roof is all done. Show you up there. And now Doug is putting on the, there you go, now you can see it, the hardwire cloth to keep the girls safe. And then we have to dig down into the ground and bury it like 8 to 10 inches underneath to, you know, keep anything from digging in under it. So we still have to put the hardware cloth and all the hardware on the door. So it is looking good. We're excited. And then probably next weekend we'll build their run. Okay, eating dinner. I have 2 ounces of sweet potato fries I made in the air fryer. They are 2 points for 2 ounces. Deviled eggs, 0 points. My burger is 4 points for the bun, 5 points for the burger, 1 point for the cheese. So that is my burger tonight, or my dinner tonight. Oh, and I have a tiny little bit of barbecue sauce under there for 0 points. Look how big they are getting. The golden comets are huge. Look at her. She is huge. They are getting loud. Oh, look, and they're all curious. They just got to see what's going on. Hey, girlfriend. That's Dolores. Dolores is definitely very nosy and always as soon as I come in, she's right up there to see what's going on. Same with Mabel. The golden comets are definitely, they're a few days older. Whoop. So they're a little more worldly, I guess. But right now they're making a mess, so I need to close this lid. I just wanted to show them to you and show you how big they were getting. I'll have them out on another video this week. And of course, there's their little watchdog right there, keeping an eye on them. So friends, that is it for me for this weekend. I had a really high point weekend. I don't feel too great about it, but it is what it is. I'm sure I'll have a gain on Tuesday. I just need to get my head in the game. I'm not eating a lot. I'm just eating a lot of high point foods right now. Not for any reason. I'm just eating too much. So I guess I am. Yeah, well, not really. I had a lot of things planned that were a little bit higher point. I tried to go low point on breakfast and lunch, and like if we're having a higher point dinner or vice versa. And I wasn't real good with that these last couple of days. Like we had a high point breakfast this morning and a high point dinner. So what was my dinner was what, 12 points? Is that right? Did I say it was 9, 10, 11, 12? Yeah, my dinner was 12 points. And breakfast was, I think, 8. Oh, you know what? I was right within my points because the only thing I had for lunch, I forgot to show you, was a navel orange. So yeah, I was in my points today. It just felt very decadent today. I did use a couple weeklies yesterday because of the cake, but I have the weeklies to use. So I guess it's really not, I don't know. I just feel kind of, maybe because they were heavy meals today, I just feel kind of, ugh. And we were outside all day. I am beyond exhausted, so we'll see. And I know I look a hot mess, but I just rolled out of bed, made sandwiches, got those delivered, and just went to work. So now I've got this massive mess to clean up in the kitchen. So that's what I'm going to do while this uploads. thanks for hanging out with us this weekend. Hopefully, we'll get this stinking coop done and then we'll start having fun on the weekends again. But we will see. So, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you all very soon.